Everybody, welcome back to another game unboxing. I'm Lloyd. This is Marvel United X-Men Blue Team, and this is the next one in the Marvel United X-Men Kickstarter All In Pledge. Take a look at the channel, and if you really want to see all of them, I'm unboxing all of them. So let's take a look at what comes in Blue Team and what they introduce here. So it looks like we've got 6 minis. Looks like we got Havoc there. Or not Havoc, Banshee. So let's just go ahead and open this up. It is, ages 14 and up, 1 to 4 players, although maybe with supervillain mode it goes up to 5. I'm not quite clear on that. I have to really go check the rules for supervillain mode. Let's crack it open and see what we've got. So, this is actually part of a two-parter. So you have X-Men Blue Team and X-Men Gold Team. And that just breaks down into the 2 different sets of X-Men teams that were running during the 90s. So this was Blue Team. They were like an A team and a B team. I don't know which one was which, but this is Blue Team. So let's go ahead and crack this open and take a look at what's inside. So here we've got the rules. And if you're familiar with Marvel United, essentially you have a bunch of locations out. You have a supervillain, which in the newer versions can be controlled by a player. And you have up to 4 heroes battling the supervillain. And what they need to do is knock out the supervillain. And in order to do that, they have to complete threats, rescue civilians, defeat thugs, in order to wear the supervillain down so they can actually start attacking him. So the game uses those core rules in order to facilitate the gameplay, essentially. And then all these expansions add little wrinkles or extra game mechanics onto it to kind of change up the style. So what X-Men Blue Team and Gold Team add is team versus team mode. So what we hear is we get some plastic bases to put on our team. And I guess with this, you can go, actually this will increase the player count up to 6 players, because you can have 3 on each team. And then 7, I would assume, if someone's playing as the supervillain. So that's essentially what's new here, is the team versus team, and it's basically add some extra stuff to accommodate that. So it looks like you'll have 2 different story rows. You have a blue team and a yellow team storyline mode. So blue team can only take advantage of blue team cards, and yellow or gold team only can take advantage of gold team. And it looks like each team is competing to save civilians and defeat thugs. And it looks like they'd have to do less overall than if you were playing as a single co-op, just because there won't be as many bad guys out. So there's some compatibility rules here. It goes over the supervillain mode if someone is going to play a supervillain mode. They added some extra challenges on here, and then it kind of goes over special rules for certain villains, and then some villains that you can't even use. So, like here, you can't use Dark Phoenix, you can't use Sentinels and Nimrod, you can't use Lady Deathstrike. So there's a handful that don't work, and there's a handful that you need very specific setup instructions for. So that's pretty cool. This one actually adds quite a bit to the game, and it does turn it from a 4-player co-op into a 6-player semi-co-op. Because at the end of the day, you still have to beat the bad guy or you lose, but you're now competing to see who's better at doing it. So this one comes with some extra tokens. So we got some little DNA tokens here. We got some no BAM tokens and some locks. We've got the blue, yellow. So I assume that you flip that back and forth for whose turn it is, blue or gold. And then I'm assuming these locks will lock certain powers or certain cards or something. But yeah, They do have a set of plastic tokens that you could buy, so you could get all this stuff in plastic, but I'm good with the cardboard. Don't need more plastic in my life. So there we go. Let's see what we add here with the X-Men Blue Team locations. So, looks like we have added the Excalibur Lighthouse. We've added the Savage Land, which is cool because I know Sauron's in one of these boxes. We've got Madripoor, which if you've been playing or watching along with the Disney Plus stuff, Madripoor has been mentioned several times and has featured actually in, was it Falcon and Winter Soldier? Yeah, they featured pretty heavily in there. And then we've got the Mojoverse, which again is cool because I know Mojo is in one of these boxes somewhere. So there's our new locations. And again, it looks like we have some bad locations here. These ones that are black, I believe, are bad. Bad stuff happens. If you perform 3 or more of this here this turn, you may gain 1 token. If you did not, you must discard. Yeah, so there's an either or here. Either you do something really cool and you get bonus, or you don't and you suffer a penalty. So those are our new locations. It looks like we've got a couple different things here. We've got a blue team and gold team dashboard. And those are where the little locks go. So I guess as you complete, the missions, the civilians, the thugs, and the threats, that will unlock for which team did it. So one team will be able to get the bonus, and the other one, will not. It does say this affects both teams once unlocked. So we'll have to go through the rules and figure it out. But there you go, an extra dashboard option add-on. We've got Mr. Sinister here. He's got his specific special setup that you need to follow. And then in a supervillain mode, he gives out a lot of tokens. So he must be a pretty bad dude. So he's got his special rules, his BAM, his overflow, and his villainous plot. The heroes immediately lose if Mr. Sinister has collected 9 DNA samples. That's right, because Mr. Sinister is always trying to make new mutants. So there we go. There's Mr. Sinister. Let's go ahead and take a look in the box and see what we've got. So we've got these little clip-on different rings to go onto the bases, so you identify who your team is. Now, you don't have to play with these people. The team versus team mode just opens it up so you can use whichever teams you want, even the original Marvel United people. So we'll go ahead and snap these onto one of the bases later once we get to those. Let's take a look at the cards first. All right, so we've got the cards here. So first up, we've got Banshee. And again, no starting hand cards. So a lot of the X-Men set comes with starting hand cards. So they give you cards that you start with at the beginning of the turn. And I thought it was everyone, but I guess it's only certain ones. So like the Thing had it. Most of the Fantastic Four had it. And like Wolverine has it. I'm going to assume Deadpool probably has some kind of mutant healing factor or something. But not everybody has it. I guess it's only something that if it's like a kind of latent ability like Wolverine's healing power, maybe that was the deciding factor. It seems to be kind of the running thing here is like if their power set is something that's a passive that they just it's there all the time, like Mr. Fantastic's always stretchy, then I guess it starts as a starting hand card, but it doesn't look like anybody here gets it. So we'll just take a look at Banshee real quick. He's got pretty cool artwork, nice, colorful chibi art, pretty good stuff. Sonic Blast, Punch in adjacent locations. Those are always good cards where you can attack an adjacent location. So that's Banshee. Let's take a look at Jubilee. I know Jubilee is a fan favorite. She's pretty cool. I think she might still be a vampire in the current Marvel comic timeline. But here we go. And I think she was actually introduced for the X-Men cartoon back in the 90s. So I think that's where she came from, much like Harley Quinn came from the Batman the Animated Series cartoon. But I digress. Here we go. Let's take a look at her card there. She's throwing off her little fireworks, sparks things. pretty cool. I like the artwork. It's definitely nice. Nothing super fancy there. Nothing blowing my socks off, but pretty cool. So next up, we've got Gambit here. Again, no starting power. I imagine he's going to be able to attack adjacent places, but yeah, there you go. He's charging up his cards because he likes to throw cards. Pretty cool. He's got his staff there because that's his backup, staff. He can charge stuff, and he uses his stick to poke people. Pretty cool stuff. Master Thief, gain 1 wild token and take 1 action token of your choice from each other hero. So that's really good, probably in the team mode, because you can just take a token if they have it, and that way, if the other team members have it, you don't have to steal from yourself, from your own team. But that's pretty cool. Yep, you can discard a token, so it's like you're throwing a token to throw it into adjacent location. That's pretty cool. Very thematic. Let's take a look at Psylocke here. Psylocke does not have a starting hand card, but another fan favorite, Psylocke. Now she's actually a British Betsy Braddock, I think. So Captain Britain's sister, trapped in her body. It's convoluted. I don't know. She's psychic. She's a mutant, and she's got somebody stuck in there. There's that classic butterfly power where she's doing her psionic blast, and her telepathy. Good stuff. Very cool artwork. And Rogue. You would think that Rogue would have a starting ability, considering if she touches anyone, she gets anything. So you'd think that would be like, a latent ability. If she's on like the same spot with another character, she could, use one of their symbols or something. I don't know. But cool artwork. She's flying around, punching. Good stuff. Power absorption. So there you go. Use the action symbols at the bottom of another hero's face-up card in the storyline at the end of your turn. Yeah, see, so you're leeching that power. It seems like that would be like something that maybe you'd be able to do all the time. But this is pretty cool, though, because that doesn't really open up in many other characters that I even know of, the ability to use their special effect of another hero. So that's pretty cool, because normally you just get these little icons, but this one, she can actually use another power. That's really cool. So let's take a look at Mr. Sinister here. So Mr. Sinister, nothing super special on these cards. It just kind of gives you an overview of what he's going to do. He doesn't have a whole lot of special attacks. He's just got these 4 at the end here. He does have a lot of BAMs, though. But yeah, that is Mr. Sinister. Let's see what his threats are. Manipulation, telepathy, morphing. So these are the threats you got to clear. Nothing super fancy there. We're going to toss these in on top of this for now. So it looks like you have a gold team, clear the threats. And you have a blue team, clear the threats, defeat the thugs, rescue civilians. And then you have a new challenge. So let's see what this challenge is. Accelerated Villain Challenge. Villain turns take place after every 2 hero turns from both teams. Once the villain is under pressure, villain turns take place after each team has performed a single hero turn. So this is a specific team versus team, and that could really make it super difficult. But there you go. That's the challenge. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the minis. All right, let's take a look at the minis from the X-Men Blue Team expansion. So first up, we've got Banshee. Banshee's screaming like a banshee. He's pretty cool. He's not a bad figure. I like that they molded those stripes on his underside end. So if you're gonna paint him, makes it much easier to follow along the line, so you're not trying to freehand them. But even if you're not, you can then at least see that it's got the signature striped capes, even if you don't paint them. So there you go. There's Banshee. Next up, we've got Rogue. Now, this is a pretty cool figure, and it's pretty ingenious the way they, mounted it. So it looks like she's flying, because her leg is molded as part of this base piece here. So it's really cool. And this is a better way that they could have done something similar to Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, with her weird base that they did, the way that they did something like this, but it just doesn't make any sense what it was. Just a random chunk of plastic there to thicken the foot up. But that's Rogue. She looks pretty cool in all her 90s glory with the jacket and the headband. Pretty cool stuff. Definitely dig it. Next up, we have Gambit. And he's the Raging Cajun. He's got his cards that he's throwing, which is pretty cool because, this is like the energy and then the cards are coming out. So definitely looks pretty cool how they did that. Nice trench coat modeling. It's kind of weird he's like hanging out on a fire hydrant, but it adds some different depth to the figure, to the mini. And then he's got his staff and the cool, Jim Lee era topless headpiece so their hair can flow out the top and blow in the wind. Pretty cool. So there's Gambit. Next up, we've got fan favorite Jubilee. So I'm not 100% sure on the history, but I think Jubilee was made up specifically for the 90s cartoon, similar to Harley Quinn in the animated Batman cartoon. I think. Don't hold me to that. And I think right now she's still powerless. Maybe she got her powers back. She used to be a vampire. So maybe she's still a vampire. I'm not 100% sure. But otherwise, a pretty cool looking figure. Would have been nice if they did some kind of sparklies on her hand. I don't know how they would have, but that would have been cool. But otherwise, a pretty cool looking figure. Yeah. Definitely pretty cool looking. All right. Next up, we've got Psylocke. Psylocke comes with, her trademark katana, and she's got one of her side blades going. Fun backstory. She's of Asian heritage. I believe maybe she's Japanese. I'm not 100% sure. However, she's actually Betsy Braddock inside of her, through convoluted comic book things. She's got a different personality inside of her. She's actually Captain Britain's sister inhabiting this body, which is, weird. But it's pretty cool. This is pretty cool flowing belt there from her waist. That's pretty cool looking. Gives you that kind of like it's out in the blown in the wind, kind of like the 3D Ninja Gaiden games, where that was just always, his thing was always flapping in the wind behind him. So overall, that is a pretty cool looking figure. And last up in this set, we have Mr. Sinister. This is a really cool sculpt, mainly because they kept his cape here common accurate, and it's got, all these little individual threads, like tassels. It looks like Lloyd from Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber when he comes down the stairs with that stupid frilly jacket on. There you go. But he's definitely cool. I definitely dig how they did the his cape. Pretty cool figure. And he's got his cool thigh-high boots too, because why not? So yeah, that was the last figure. This is the villain from the box. Pretty cool stuff. Let's go ahead and throw everything back in the box. Try to get everything back in the box anyway. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. There you go. Follow the cutouts. So these go here. It's always weird that sometimes they put these things on top and sometimes they put them on the bottom. No consistency there, but I guess whatever. Let's just throw that back in there. We'll punch that out later. So that was X-Men Blue Team. This is one half of the team versus team set. The other one is Gold Team. We'll go ahead and take a look at that one. So pay attention to the channel. We're going to be doing an unboxing of the entire Marvel United X-Men all-in pledge, minus the cardboard locations and plastic tokens. This will be just all of the expansion boxes and the core game. So just pay attention to the channel. Let us know. Did you get the X-Men? Did you get the original Marvel United? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them as soon as humanly or mutantly possible. Thanks for watching.
We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a comment or hit the like button. It really does help us out. If you have suggestions for future videos, let us know in the comments as well, and then subscribe to see what we come up with next.